In depth now with former prosecutor turned criminal defense attorney who is no stranger to the high-profile clients and cases, Vinoo Varghese. Let's start with this January 6th subpoena. The committee knows it's a serious step, but what are the chances, really, that the former president will testify?
Zero. I mean, this is another attempt at this point to keep this going. Look, Democrats had their chance. They impeached him twice. I mean, there's been only 4 impeachments of a president in United States history, and they had 2 of them against Donald Trump, even after he left office. And with this January 6th insurrection riot, and they failed. So they impeached him, but he wasn't convicted by the Senate. And here's an attempt. I mean, the sending of this subpoena so close to midterm elections, which many have said is the most consequential election for Democrats, and you hear that in every election cycle. But it's too close to this, and I think at this point there's nothing's going to come of it, and it's just a waste of time. And if he challenges it, Trump challenges it, this may get tied up in the courts, and if the Republicans take over the House, this committee's gone.
Right. So in essence, this could all just completely go away if he just continues to litigate and push it off. Right. So the committee, yes, though, they did set a deadline to turn over those documents before the upcoming election. They want the testimony shortly after the election. What do you really think is going to happen, though, next?
I mean, look, if I were Trump's lawyer, which I'm not, I would provide what he could provide. What he's, if the documents they're asking him are, proper subject matter of a subpoena to a former United States president, I imagine there aren't too many things that could be, then you provide those. But short of that, short of actually demonstrating here, because look, you have a real question of separation of powers, and this is stuff related to Trump while he was in office. And so, remember, Special Counsel Mueller took the position when he presented a case, Special Counsel Mueller presented a case that the DOJ can't indict a sitting president. Well, certainly Congress can't charge him. Maybe they can charge, they can charge him with contempt. Today, Steve Bannon was sentenced to 4 months in jail, but it's been stayed pending his appeal. So ultimately, I don't think anything's going to come of this.
So, and Vinoo, the national security concerns that have been raised, though, by this recent discovery highlighted today, where do you think the legal line should really be drawn in this case? I mean, if there were top secret documents, information about Iran's missiles, this is major stuff here.
So the important thing to understand with this Washington Post article is that this is a leak. So this is separate from what the House is looking at, right? So we're talking about the January 6th riots versus the criminal investigation of Trump that commenced with the execution of a search warrant at Mar-a-Lago 2 months ago. So this is a leak. When an ongoing criminal investigation, the DOJ takes the position, we will not comment. Yet, all this stuff is coming out about it. We don't know, and it's a leak, and there's no way to verify if what has come out is actually true or not. So that has to be taken with a grain of salt, because ultimately, if it does not result in a criminal charge against Trump, then this was an exercise that was clearly a waste of time for the DOJ. I'm not speaking about the Democrats, but for the Department of Justice. And so I'm not certain that what's been leaked today is actually accurate.
So which would be more troublesome for Trump, the documents themselves or this potential, investigation into January 6th?
Well, it looks like he was already impeached and it didn't work, right, as far as the January 6th committee. So, they could potentially go after him for contempt if he refuses to comply, and then that'll get tied up. And ultimately, it won't go anywhere, because if the Republicans take over, it won't go anywhere. And even if the Democrats maintain control, there's very little that's going to happen, because then you're forcing the DOJ to take action. Will they want to do that against the next president? I'm not certain of that. Okay. So the investigation is troubling, the criminal investigation, because how often do you say a former president is the subject of a criminal investigation, is a target of a criminal investigation? So that's a problem. But will it go anywhere? Unlikely.
Okay, well, it sounds like a lot of legal wrangling. Our thanks to attorney, former prosecutor Vinoo Varghese. Thank you so much for sharing your insights tonight. We appreciate it.